Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our first day of classes. I am delighted to have you here with me today. Thank you so much for participating. I'm looking forward to a really great term. We are going to work through several things this semester, but all of them have to do with this fundamental concept of rhetoric. That is, making meanings between and among people using language or our communication skills. Today's mini lecture is built off our textbook reading of Chapter 1. I am not covering the particular content point by point in Chapter 1, so you do need to make sure that you do that reading, and you need to make sure that you go through and do any assigned activities as well. What I'm going to do instead is frame this chapter in the larger context of our class, talking a little bit about three vital things to remember as we approach public speaking. And that takes us to the second vital thing that I want you to remember about public speaking. And that is that public speaking is always about making meanings together with your audiences. Now, this might seem a little odd. Isn't public speaking about sharing a message, getting your point across, telling people what you think? No, because I can stand and shout into the abyss all day long, but that's not public speaking. Instead, public speaking is about making meanings, using that overlap of experience that we talked about in the previous model in order to connect with my audience in a way that is meaningful to them. And this means that public speaking is fundamentally not about the speaker. That feels weird, right? Everybody's up there looking at the speaker. The attention is on the speaker. They're trying to gain your attention. They're trying to persuade you. This must be about the speaker, yes? No. As a matter of fact, it's about the co-creation of meaning between the audience and the speaker. And so that's one of the things we're going to work on this semester, is making sure that we make meanings together with our audiences. How do we understand our audiences? How do we get to know them in order to effectively make meanings with them? But this also raises a particular ethical concern. If everything is about the audience, what is there to keep a speaker from simply lying through their teeth and telling the audience exactly what they want to hear? And so in this class, we're going to adhere to the National Communication Association's Principles of Communication Ethics. And these are 5 major principles, they're also outlined in your textbook, that are vital for understanding how we communicate ethically when our main goal is making meanings with audiences. The first is respect, both for the audience and yourself. Respect that you have a right to your position in the same way that your audience members have a right to their position. This does not mean you have to respect their ideas. The classic example being, you do not have to give credence to the ideas of a Nazi. But you do have to respect that that is an individual, a human being. And without violence, you cannot make them change their mind. Changing one's mind is always their choice. And so inasmuch as you respect your right to have your opinion, you must respect the right of others to have theirs. The end of respect is the beginning of violence. This is not to say agreement. You'll notice agreement is nowhere on this list of ethical concerns. It is to say respect for a person's humanity, even if you disrespect their ideas. The second is honesty. You must be honest about what you believe, where you got your information, and why you believe it. This requires self-reflection as well as knowledge. So you must be honest with yourself and with your audience. Fairness to the other is vital. If you use what are called straw man fallacies or straw man arguments, you lose all honesty, right? You must be fair to the other person's position. They are not flaming libs trying to end America or idiot conservatives trying to tear our country apart. Those are straw man fallacies. We don't use fallacies in this class. Instead, we fairly represent the position that we hold and the positions that oppose us. The ethic of choice is the foundation of rhetoric. Rhetoric is the belief that we can make meanings with others and that there is more to shared society than simply violence. But that means you have to respect that other people get a choice in their decision making. In as much as you want to choose what is right for you, what you believe, what you know to be true, so does everybody else. You must, in your rhetoric, give people that choice. And then finally, responsibility. When you take the responsibility of a public speaker, you are asking people for their trust, for their respect, and for their time. That is a responsibility to treat them in these ethical ways. We will continue bringing these ethical principles up, talking about making meaning and communication as a transactional process as we go throughout this semester. But I want you to focus on these concepts, how they work together, and how you will use them in your rhetoric as we move forward this semester. Thanks, everybody.